Hey, what's up, guys? Got a quick review for you for one of my favorite movies of all time. That's Itchy the Killer. This came out in 2001, and this was like back in the day. This was known as like a pretty extreme film, and it still holds up to that, I guess. But yeah, I love this movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's one of Takashi Miike's best films, as far as filmmaking and everything. Basically, it's this guy on the front, Kakihara. His boss is killed, and he's trying to find out where he is at, because his boss is the only one that can deliver him pain that he likes. Because he's like a, I don't remember the word for it, but he loves pain and all that. And Itchy the Killer, which isn't pictured here, he's the middle picture there, but he is he's off his rocker. He loves like watching people in pain and all that. So Kakihara is looking for Itchy the Killer because Itchy had something to do with his boss's disappearance, and that's essentially the plot. Kakihara just on a mission looking for him, and Itchy just killing people and all that because he loves to see people in pain. But there's some really gross out moments, like this interrogation scene where dude's hanging by hooks, and he throws this burning hot oil on him and stuff, and he's putting like needles in the dude's face and all that, and that was a pretty intense scene. And there's a scene like in the Yakuza stuff, they usually have to cut off fingers and all that to apologize for stuff they did. Well, in this one, Kakihara just takes his tongue and cuts it off with a knife, and he throws it at him, and he just walks away like it's nothing. And that leads me to one of my favorite things about this is Kakihara. He's almost like a Japanese Joker. Like if Christopher Nolan was making a Japanese film, this is what it would turn out like. Because he dresses a lot like Heath Ledger's Joker, and he's just the main focus, they're not the main focus, but the real standout of the movie, like the Joker was. He's just a really badass character. The makeup, everything about him is badass. He's got the Glasgow grin, which he actually takes the piercings out and it opens up, and it's just really badass looking. There's a lot of funny moments in this too, like really black humor. It's not like in your face humor. It's really dark. The effects for the most part are really amazing. There's some really good effects, really good guts, gore, and everything. But there's also some really bad CGI, and this on Blu-ray makes the CGI stick out even more. Like, there's a scene where he cuts this dude straight down the middle in half, and the CGI looks atrocious, but it's such a fun movie. You got to be willing to overlook that stuff, and you do watching it. And yeah, it's just a badass movie. It has the perfect mix of gangster Yakuza with horror elements and humor. It all mixes perfectly. There's a lot of scenes that brings you back to that this was a graphic or a comic book back in the day, because it's based on a comic book over in Japan. And like there's a scene where they're stretching this dude's face, and his cheeks are like stretching out like 5 inches and stuff, and just like over the top. And there's a scene where this dude, you kind of see him, he's all dressed up and stuff, but towards the end he takes off his clothes, and he's just jacked like a bodybuilder, like over the top Arnold Schwarzenegger bodybuilder, but you could see the face CGI'd on and everything, and it's just it's ridiculous. But like I said, really fun. The ending's suspenseful, really cool ending, and it's definitely an ending you gotta kind of decipher for what it means, and kind of it may be different to whoever's watching it, because it's a bizarre ending. There's a lot of things that just happen that you're like, what in the world? So but yeah, film-wise, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite films. I can't really complain about it. But one thing is, this movie has suffered from really bad transfers since it came out. It's always looked really soft, really grainy. But that's most Japanese movies. And I gotta say, this is remastered from a 4K, yeah, from a newly restored 4K digital transfer. And I wouldn't go in this expecting a really clean, really beautiful picture, because it still looks really grainy, still soft. I mean, there are some scenes that look a lot better, though. Like, the blacks are better, for sure. Like, there's a scene where these robbers are in the hospital, and they have these swords and stuff, and it looks really good on Blu-ray. The scene with Itchy and all the feathers and stuff, and the dude in the TV looks really good. There's some scenes that look a lot better, but be warned, there are a lot of scenes that still look really soft. So don't go in expecting a pristine transfer, because it's not pristine at all, but it is the best this movie has ever looked. It's not miles, it's like head and shoulders above the Tokyo Shock Blu-ray, and definitely a lot better if you only have the DVD. And yeah, so like I said, I can't give it my fullest recommendation, or I can give it my fullest recommendation, I'm sorry. But yeah, beautiful slipcover, just beautiful release. Super glad to have this in my collection. Awesome release. Glad it's getting some love. Not really any special features, but there is an audio commentary with Takashi Miike and the guy who wrote the original manga. So I am curious to hear what all that's about. And it's got a still gallery and a trailer, which it's an updated trailer. Trailer's in HD, and it's a really well done trailer. But me and BDG Reviews, we actually we have a commentary we recorded for this movie, and it's on his channel. I'll link it down below if you have any interest in that. It was a pretty fun commentary to do. But anyways, guys, peace.